Hello, I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar on today's technology forecast, Cloudy with Increased Sales. We're very excited as today we have two great presenters, David Hauser and Harry Brailsford. Before we get started with the webinar, I'd like to touch base on a couple housekeeping items. First of all, the webinar will be recorded and I will be sure to get an email out to you just as soon as we have it posted. Also wanted to let you know that we encourage you to ask any questions and to use the questions feature within the webinar tool. Now I'd like to hand it over to Harry Brailsford to get us underway.
Okay, well thank you, Jenny Hallmark. Always a pleasure to work with you each and every day. Hey Jenny, guess what? I am wearing, in my home office today down on Bainbridge Island, I am wearing the original SMB Nation Fall Conference 2003 t-shirt with a race car on it. So just a little bit of trivia to kind of set the tone because, you know, this is a new conversation today with Carbonite. So first of all, I want to thank everybody. It's mid-morning on the West Coast, early afternoon on the East Coast, early evening over in Europe. So thanks for taking time out of your day. Don't forget, I'm going to say at least in the U.S., I can't speak worldwide, but at least in the U.S. we have a daylight savings change coming up this weekend that I'm looking forward to having longer evenings. Now, enough of that nonsense. Let's jump right into it. Folks, by the way, we'll take your questions at the end, but periodically I'll ask a couple questions along the way and do a little bit of housekeeping at midpoint. So with no further ado, David Hauser, sir, thanks for joining us. Let's get right into this weather forecast.
Well, thanks, Harry, and thanks for having me today. As Harry mentioned, my name is David Hauser, and I manage the channel program here at Carbonite. I see that there are quite a few folks here on the webinar today, so I certainly appreciate everybody's time. In today's webinar, as Harry and Jenny mentioned, we're going to talk about ways to leverage cloud solutions to increase your sales. So, as many of you know, and most of you know, the cloud industry itself is growing. It's growing incredibly rapidly. And according to Gartner, cloud services, direct selling, and reselling is going to represent the single largest revenue growth opportunity in cloud computing by 2015. And by the end of 2013, the size of cloud computing market will be about $150 billion. To put things into perspective of how much money that really is, that's 75% more dollars than the amount of cuts that are occurring right now through the sequester. So it just shows you how big that is. It also is more money than the annual revenues of Cisco, Disney, Coca-Cola, and FedEx combined. So it's an absolutely huge market that's growing at a very, very fast clip. And with all this information out there, according to IDC, about 1/3 of all channel partners don't offer storage, backup, and disaster recovery as a managed service. So we're going to talk to you today about some of the opportunities with cloud services and what we believe that they can do for your business, and more importantly, how you and your customer can take advantage of that. So within the agenda, we're going to talk today about the top 5 advantages of reselling cloud services, and specifically, how do cloud services can enhance the relationships that you have with your client base and potentially with prospects, how you can actually grow your reputation, reduce your time obligations that you have on an ongoing basis, and be able to spend your time more efficiently, and eliminate many of the pain points associated with deployment that you have, all of which at the end of the day are going to help you make more money. And then how cloud backup may be the most powerful way for you to start or increase your business benefits from cloud services. And then to Harry's point, we're going to close the presentation with hopefully a really robust and interactive Q&A session. So business models, and all of you are seeing this every single day, have been changing and evolving at an incredibly rapid clip. They're moving away from traditional hardware and services, and the cloud is really helping accelerate that change. These services are growing very, very fast. In fact, in 2012, experts at IDC have noted that public cloud services revenue is already poised to exceed $36 billion. If you look at this graph, what this graph shows you is the percentage of dollars that resellers were making from different services. So 5 years ago, most of the money that you were making, about 40%, were coming from hardware. Within the next 5 years, that number will go from 40% to 26%. So you can really see how quickly the world is evolving and how cloud services have really been a disruptive measure within that. So what it means to you is cloud is quickly becoming a primary source of technology and should overtake hardware acquisition in the coming year. And like any good disruptive technology, we believe it's better, we believe it's cheaper, and it's certainly more stable. So what we're going to talk about today and what I wanted to share with you were some of the top 5 benefits of cloud services to you and what they mean to you. So number 1, cloud services help really strengthen the relationships that you have with your clients and help foster relationships that you have with prospects. Cloud services provide a unique opportunity to engage and support your clients on a regular basis. And gone are the days when channel sales primarily and almost exclusively are limited to hardware and software. Resellers more and more are now selling solutions above and beyond those hardware and software installs that you were doing previously. And cloud services can really help you keep in touch with your customers more often through simplified maintenance, through management, new offerings that are occurring, and they allow you to do that from your office. From any computer in the world where you have internet access. You can really understand what's happening with your client and effectively be able to manage your client. The cloud actually provides you with an opportunity to deliver even more services that are out there. It provides you with an opportunity to proactively reach out to your customers and provide more value to them. And this means to you, it means more revenue. It's the best vehicle for ongoing sales for you. And with this constant contact, resellers are finding that customer relationships deepen over time. This allows you to develop a more loyal customer base and become an integral part of your client's technology decisions. And before long, you're getting pinged on essential questions about business and technology deployment and development. And cloud services also does things in a different way. Traditionally, we've been that trusted advisor and done a great job with that. One of the things that a lot of the cloud services have allowed us to do is become that hero. And let me explain to you what I mean by that. We were talking to a reseller of ours in the tri-state area a couple months ago, right after Hurricane Sandy, where all the desktops, all the servers, all the on-prem backup solutions were destroyed during Hurricane Sandy. That client was able to get back up and running within a matter of a couple days with all their data back intact. So it really allowed the reseller to become that hero to that company and allowed that company to move quickly, agilely, to make sure that their business was back up and running. Cloud services also offer you to grow and foster your reputation. Your reputation is more than the latest chatter within the community. It's really your brand. Each one of us has our own brand that's out there. And your brand will benefit from providing the latest technology to your customers. The cloud within the last few years has become a hot buzzword. It's had this amazing halo effect. And offering cloud services makes you a thought leader within the industry. Again, it's interesting when we talk to a lot of resellers that are out there about what offering a cloud solution has really done to them, or conversely, what not offering a cloud solution has done to them. We were talking to somebody out in Washington just a few weeks back, and they were telling us that the impetus for them actually jumping onto the cloud and starting to sell more cloud solutions wasn't done by them. It wasn't done because of anything that they were doing. What was happening was their clients were going out to them and saying, look, I need different cloud solutions to run my business. I've seen different commercials that are out there. I'm reading about the cloud in the news. I want to make sure, for example, with online data backup, that I have a solution where I can get my data anytime, anywhere that I want to. And in fact, if there's a natural disaster, I'm able to get my data back and I'm able to run my business effectively. And I need something from you to be able to do that. So even if a reseller is being forced by their clients, or if you're proactively going out there and positioning cloud solutions, by having a portfolio of cloud solutions that you can offer, it certainly increases the reputation that you have within the industry, with your clients, and with your community. The other thing that cloud solutions do is it makes deployment much easier. You don't have to worry about how the hardware or software is set up, if different things are compatible with each other quite often. It allows you to simplify the deployment that you have. Quite often you're able to do that deployment off-prem, and it's able to make sure that you're able to offer the best solution at an affordable price point, limiting your costs, but making sure things get up and running quickly. Many services can be deployed remotely, and of course there's the added benefit that many cloud services are also accessible from any device, so your client's experience is also improved. And then again, it saves you time, and saving you time also saves you money. In the past, many resellers built their businesses by selling hardware such as servers or backup systems, but this tended to create diminished returns on maintenance. The job was never fully done, and what that meant to you and your client was they were never fully satisfied and fully happy. For example, tens of hours, if not hundreds of hours, were spent doing daily backups of your client's data to tape drives. And I can't tell you how many times that one of our resellers would tell us that they were unable to do daily backups or hadn't done daily backups in weeks, or they were doing their daily backups on a consistent basis, but it wasn't working effectively, and they didn't realize that their data wasn't being backed up. And when a disaster took place, the unfortunate truth that happened was they were left out in the dark. They didn't have their data to get back, and they felt, obviously awful about the whole situation. So the great thing about cloud backup is that you understand and have a monitor where you can understand if the data is being backed up. You can see if the data is being backed up. In the case of Carbonite, there's a little green dot next to each file, and so you know that that data is being backed up. And it saves you time, and it certainly saves you agony in case anything negative happens. Cloud services let you manage your client systems remotely. It frees a lot of headaches for you. It frees all the different hassles that you have, and it certainly limits the amount of miles that go in your car driving all those different highways and back roads to get to your client's office. Cloud-based services can liberate you from spending a lot of time on maintenance or updates, and the time that you're able to save on cloud services or through cloud services allows you really to spend more time on value-added services. And those value-added services typically allow you to get more revenue and, in fact, increased revenue from your clients that you have. So it's critical to be sure that you're keeping your business's bottom line healthy. And the cloud is really an outstanding source of that ongoing revenue. As close as you can get to a sure thing, it's a service and it's not a product. It's affordable for you to deploy and set up for your clients, and it can be conveniently bundled with other services. You can easily deploy cloud services, and then you'll have ongoing opportunities to manage these for your clients, which again means more billable hours for you. And of course, you'll benefit from the margins of these sales and the upgrades as well. So the idea here is that you can work a lot smarter, and you don't have to work harder, and what that allows you to do is get more profits and higher margins.
David, are you there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, David, I was just on that last part. I think that's, folks, I kind of want to emphasize that a second time, that the paradigm shift our community is transitioning to is the nature of the revenues changing. And, David, to be very honest, it's like a good conference. A publisher once told me in telecom, a good conference should be disturbing. It should disturb you just a little bit to add even more value. And I think that's where some of our people are with the shifting nature of the revenue streams that they're accustomed to, and then what they're going to, necessarily get used to. And please continue, but I just wanted to interrupt you and add some editorial comments.
It's a really good point, Harry. The world is changing and it's evolving fast, and we have a lot of disruptive technologies that are out there. And you need to be able to really understand what that is, what the impact of your business is, and just as importantly, how quickly you move and react to that. Because that's the other important thing to your business is how fast do you do that? Because if you do it sometimes too fast, you have a revenue cliff that takes place. Conversely, though, if you don't do something, you might not be here in a few years from now. So it's an important paradigm shift that's happening. It's occurring at a high velocity, and it's top of mind for a lot of people. What we have on this slide is, why do your clients need the cloud, and how can you start selling cloud services to begin reaping the benefits. And what we shared here was a typical reseller of Carbonite. The typical reseller has about 100 clients that use Carbonite as a leading service to attract new clients. And what we've found out about online data backup is that it's really been a great entree for our resellers to get more cloud solutions. Online data backup, for whatever reason, people feel very comfortable with it. The brand of Carbonite, for example, has a very strong connotation to it. And it's allowed them as an entree into the cloud and then to be able to bundle more services over time to get greater value and certainly get more revenue out of the cloud. And it's an online backup is also a critical component of their maintenance offering to clients. So what most of our typical resellers do is they will go in there, sometimes use cloud or use Carbonite as an entree, and then start packaging all these different services wrapped around it. The services could be anything from on-prem solutions as well. It could be antivirus. It could be a maintenance package that they use, which also have billable hours wrapped around it. So they can, again, get greater revenue from each one of their clients, provide a valuable service to their clients, and then start reaping the rewards of having an annuity. What that means is get that recurring revenue each and every single year from your clients, which also fosters the relationship because now you have an ongoing relationship with your client instead of having just discrete sales. The other important thing that we've noticed, and I'm sure a lot of you have noticed as well, is, especially with online data backup, the proof is in the data. What we have found is that 40% of small businesses that have a natural disaster and aren't able to get their data back actually go out of business. It's an unbelievably disturbing number, but it shows the value of being able to actually have that data and be able to get that backed up. And the one important element to that, and I think I mentioned this a few minutes ago, is that when Hurricane Sandy hit, I can't tell you the number of clients that are resellers that went to us regarding their clients and said, look, having a cloud-based solution saved my clients. It allowed them to actually continue to get up and running quickly and continue to have them be able to run their business. Again, it's a disturbing number, but it shows the value of what data means to businesses out there. So security, affordability, and reliability are all important ways to float above these natural disasters. And let me talk a little bit about them. Security, cloud-based backup allows you the security to know that in case there's a natural disaster, my data is secure. It allows you to know that you have another copy or a carbon copy, in the case of online data backup, of whatever piece of data that you're looking for, piece of material that you're looking for. It's automatic. It happens. You don't have to worry about running over there to the tape backup machines to back something else up. It takes place in the background, and you know it's happening. And if it's not happening, there's proactive ways that are communicated to you to let you know what has and hasn't worked. So it makes your life a lot easier. The other aspect of this is it's affordable. It's significantly cheaper for you and your clients to maintain, which allows you a greater opportunity to even have more services within your clients. And it takes place off-site, and it's very convenient. So I wanted to share a little bit about Carbonite for those of you that may or may not be aware of who Carbonite is. It's a nationally recognized brand and the leader in the online backup space. We have more than 1.4 million home, SOHO, and small business customers in more than 100 countries around the world. We have about 350 million new files that are backed up daily. But more importantly to that, we've restored more than 7 billion files that would have otherwise been lost. And you know as a reseller how important those files are to your customers. It could be a home customer that or a SOHO that has pictures, or it could be different PowerPoint presentations. It could be the entire financials through QuickBooks or in Excel documents. But losing those documents are absolutely just a travesty for any firm that has to go through that. And more than 7 billion files have been recovered through Carbonite. A little bit more about Carbonite. There's account management and marketing tools that we help resellers to really help their business and grow their business. It's easy to run, it's easy to operate. One of our core tenets within Carbonite is ease of use, and we have an easy-to-use product. We also have a very, very easy-to-use reseller dashboard that we work with our resellers with, and just as importantly, we're easy to work with as a company. And what I mean by that is that we have a dedicated channel management team. You'll have your own dedicated channel manager here at Carbonite. We also have a dedicated phone line for our US-based support team that you're able to get to our top-tier support team for any reseller immediately. We sell both home, Soho, and business products to all of our resellers. And we try to do everything that we can to make your life much, much easier. And again, the cloud is growing. It's not a trend. It's how most new services, technologies are being offered. And anybody who's really following how venture funding is happening right now, the percentage of venture funding that's going into the cloud, is dwarfing a lot of the other technologies that are out there. It comes with an irresistible set of advantages. It strengthens your client relationships, enhances your reputation. It saves you time, simplifies your deployment, and provides an ongoing stream of revenue to really build your book of business. So I wanted to thank everybody here for their time today. We're going to go through the Q&A section in just a little bit. If you're interested in learning more about Carbonite, you can certainly go to our website at www.carbonite.com. Up on the top nav, there's a section for partners. Click on that, and you'll see the reseller program, and there's a whole host of information about our reseller program that's on there. The easier way, quite honestly, is probably just pick up the phone and call us. Like I said, we have a dedicated channel management team here that's on staff. Their goal and objective is not just to help you sell things, but to really understand your business and your client's business to optimize what you're trying to accomplish. And that number is 877-391-4759. Or you can email us at resellers@carbonite.com. And in order to also thank you for your time today, if you mention SMB Nation when you contact us as a reseller, you'll receive an additional 10% off of any purchases above and beyond what we offer through the reseller program. So certainly want to thank you for your time, and look forward to the Q&A.
Sure. David, thank you. Folks, this is Harry again. A couple of things. Use the chat feature to ask your questions, and Jennifer Hallmark will come on in just a moment and relay those. Now, while you're queuing up your questions, David, I had a couple questions for you already. And one relates to maybe, are you able to share some of the details on the revenue opportunity? I think that's 2 slides back or 1 slide back. Are you able to talk at a high level? What kind of numbers are we dealing with? What kind of framework, financial framework are we dealing with?
Absolutely. Great question, Harry. So how Carbonite works and how the program works is that we offer a discount to our resellers. The relationship that we have from a transactional perspective is with the reseller itself. And what we try to do with how we put together the program is all communication, including transactional communication, goes directly through the reseller. So how does the economics of the program work, right? The economics is that you receive, as a reseller, anywhere from a 15 to 25% discount, depending on the amount of spend that you spent with Carbonite over the past year. So if it's anywhere from $0 to $2,000 over the past year, you get a 15% discount. It goes up to 20% if you have between $2,000 and $15,000, and 25% above $15,000. And we've tried to make these thresholds very small, so you're able to get up to the 25% discount rate very, very easily. The other aspect of this is that what I would recommend to all the different resellers that are out there is bundle as much as possible. When you bundle, make sure that you could have different service offerings that are involved. It could be antivirus or software solutions that are out there. It could be different hardware. It could be your time. You could put together storage assessments. But you put this together as a bundle to really start providing more value to your clients and really building up the amount of money that you can make from your clients.
Absolutely. Next question I have is, and forgive me if I missed it or the individual missed it, but kind of regards what is probably, I don't know, it's a fair question, but the Chinese firewall or the separation between your direct approach, your well recognized and respected brand on TV, thank you, but also you're now keenly working with the channel. Are those teams separate, or how can our people get a little more comfortable with that?
Oh, absolutely. So it is. We do have a very big Chinese wall between the two businesses. Point one. Point two is that Carbonite is it's an inbound organization from a direct perspective, and what I mean by that is that our sales team doesn't go out and start reaching out to different folks. The sales that we have are when they actually reach out to us. So we have an inbound sales team from the direct side. So our resellers should feel rest assured that we're not reaching out to different folks that are out there, point one. Point two is anybody that is a client of a reseller, we have a whole different communication model that's put in place. All promotional emails only go to the reseller. They don't go to your clients. All transactions, any sort of credit card transactions are done through the reseller. That's really where the relationship is, and that's where we want it to be. Operational emails, we send out the operational emails to the reseller. We send them out to the reseller prior to sending them out to any client that is out there. We do send some operational emails out to clients because we do want to make sure that they're aware of storage limits went over the mark, for example. But those emails have been going out for months prior to that to the end user. So we do everything that we can to make sure that that Chinese wall is there. We don't do any outbound sales as far as having sales folks reach out to anybody. And having had this program in place, we relaunched our program in June of 2012, and I can say the number of conflicts that we've had has been the number that you can actually count on your fingers. There have been a couple, we've worked them all through, and
Sure.
What I commit to everybody that's out there is that we're going to make sure whatever happens is right, and you should feel very confident about that. And there really isn't any conflict that we have right now within the program.
Sure. Well, and I appreciate your sort of open-mindedness to resolve any. I mean, with all due respect, inevitably there may be intersections. I get it, and I think everybody on the call gets it. But more importantly, you're open-minded to resolving whatever those intersections are. And so that's.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. They will happen from time to time. We do everything we can to make them minimal, and they have been minimal. But if they come up, we're going to work with that reseller to make sure that we make right.
That's right. Final question on my side, and I think Jenny raised her hand over there to say there might be one or two questions queued up from the audience. But at a high level, in fact, maybe I should rephrase the question. The question regards security and encryption and so on. That's a big question, and you can go pretty deep in the engineering, I'm sure. But where could people find out more about how the data is protected? That's probably the safer answer.
Okay, so with regards to encryption, and if you're interested in finding more information about how the files are encrypted, one is you can contact a channel manager. The number is up on the screen. They can walk you through it, and I'll explain to you how it's encrypted right here. Secondly is that we have an incredibly big knowledge base on our site. So if you have any question about encryption or anything for that matter, chances are that our knowledge base actually covers it, and covers it pretty extensively. So that being said, how does the encryption work, right? So the encryption works is that your files are encrypted twice, or your client's files. First off, when they leave the computer, your client's computer, they're encrypted with 128-bit blowfish encryption. It then goes to our data center where it's encrypted again. During the restore process, it's decrypted at the data center, then you decrypt it on your computer, where the client that's on your computer is able to decrypt it at that point in time. So we have a very safe and secure way of doing that. It's done in 2 different instances. So the encryption, we believe, is very, very strong for all the different files that are out there.
Cool. Cool. So, Jenny, do you have a couple queued up from the audience that you'd like to present?
Actually, I think I have a few here, Harry, if it's okay with you. Maybe I have a bunch of the questions written down, and I can just kind of walk through them.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, perfect.
I forwarded them. Cool.
Okay. So, so the first question is, where is the data stored? We have multiple data centers. It's all stored in the U.S. We have multiple data centers stored in the U.S. We have some in the Southwest and some in the Northeast. And these are our own proprietary data centers. So these are data centers that we operate, but they're all U.S. based that we have right now. And then the next question that was from Steve, from Jake, was wrapped around. It's actually more along the encryption lines. Is, do you do anything to make sure that you're HIPAA compliant, or how does that work? We, on the business and on the home and home office products, have a private encryption key. That's part of the service. You're able to use that there. It's very easy to use. Obviously, when you have a private encryption key, as anybody knows, that you need to make sure that that private encryption key is managed safely and securely on your side, because if it's ever lost, we don't have access to any of that data. But you have a private encryption key. You can use it. Anything that you put on that private encryption key, then you would have another key on your end to use and utilize. We don't make companies HIPAA compliant. You certainly have to do that, but this allows you all the tools that you need to become HIPAA compliant.
Yeah, more questions?
Yeah, so the next question is, we have a question from KL asking us, does a small business product backup exchange? And I'm going to share with a lot of you some interesting news about Carbonite that you may or may not know. And I probably should have mentioned this on the slide deck, so great question there. Is that November of last year, Carbonite acquired a company called Zamanda. And Zamanda commercialized an open source solution called Amanda, almost like what Red Hat does with Linux. And they had hundreds of years of development time that went into this. And it allows you to do a database backup for everything from Exchange to MySQL to SQL to SharePoint to Oracle. We are going to, within our reseller program, have that integrated within the next couple months. So reach out to a channel manager here. They can help you with all that information. It's going to be a very intuitive integration. I've already seen how it works. One of the key tenets of Carbonite is obviously affordability. So the database backup is going to be incredibly affordable as well. So yes, we do have a very simple process, simple backup process that's going to be coming out very, very shortly for you. So let me see. The next question is from Jeremy. It's asking about what types of marketing material do you provide and how do we brand that? And one of the things that we've spent quite a bit of time on is really building out our resource center that's within the reseller dashboard. We have a whole host of different marketing materials that's there. It's broken down into 3 different ways. One is really focused on material for you, which is more product material and battle cards and how you can compare us against some of the competition that's out there and position us. We also have material that's put together for your clients that are using Carbonite and for prospects that may want to use Carbonite. And it includes everything from getting started guides to email templates, promotional templates, etc. So we've really built a rather robust resource center that's out there. And with all the marketing material, and Harry, you know how important this is, we've put together different places for you to put your own company logo and contact information. This should be coming from you. This is your clients, and it gives you an opportunity to really co-brand that with Carbonite and put any sort of messaging that you think that you want to have on there, and have the client contact you, work with you, and know that it's coming from you.
Absolutely.
Okay. The next question is from Dave, asking if the reseller bills the clients, and the answer is absolutely yes. We've set the whole program up where your credit card is the credit card that's on file. The transaction and that relationship is with Carbonite between you and us. We've done this for several reasons. The main reason really goes back to Harry's question about, how does that Chinese wall work, and what can we do to really make sure that that Chinese wall is as strong as possible. With that in mind, we wanted to make sure that that transactional relationship took place with us. On top of that, what that allows you to do as a reseller, as you know, is really price and package things in the way that you think is the most appropriate for how you do business. So the reseller, or I'm sorry, the client doesn't know what you paid, what discount you may or may not have received. It allows you really to be able to package Carbonite, and again, I'd recommend packaging it with other products in ways that deem most appropriate for the solution that you're trying to provide to your clients and how you do business. We have another question. This is from Dave. When a business calls in and wants a new service, do you direct to a business or to a partner? When a small business contacts Carbonite, we'll do whatever they want. So if they contact us and want to purchase a solution, we allow them to purchase a solution. We have plenty of companies that contact us and say, do you have a service or a channel partner that's within Texas, for example, near the Dallas area? And we will work with them to make sure that we find the right channel partner for them, and it happens more often than you would think. So at the end of the day, the way we look at that is we're going to try to do whatever is right for that particular business that's contacting Carbonite. So let me see here. We have another question on database backup from Don, and I think I answered that a little bit ago with the acquisition of Zamanda, and we're really excited about that. And again, that's going to be rolled out very shortly. So if you're looking for any sort of solution with databases, contact us right away. We can certainly help you with that. And this is going to be a very nicely integrated, cost-effective solution that we're going to be going to market with very shortly. We have a question from Vishal as well, asking if I receive recurring revenue. The answer is absolutely. You receive recurring revenue. So the initial sale, you get that discount on, the 15, 20, 25% discount that I was talking about a few minutes ago. The services or online data backup solutions that we offer is either in 1, 2, and 3-year increments. And when that subscription expires, you simply renew that with your clients, and you get that discount again, and you receive that recurring revenue that happens. So it could be on a 1-year, 2-year, or 3-year time frame, but as you renew that subscription with Carbonite, you receive that recurring revenue. Obviously, you may have other solutions that are out there as well, and have recurring revenue from that as well. Okay. Is there any more? I think those are the questions right now. Are there any questions, Harry, that you had, or anything you were curious about?
Dave, I think Harry's having a little bit of technical difficulties, and he's dialing back in, unfortunately.
Okay, no, that's okay. So again, we certainly appreciate the time with everybody. We have a channel management team that's here and dedicated to working with you. So if there are any questions that you have, certainly feel free to give us a call, email us, go to our website, whatever is the easiest method for you. I think you'll find our team to be incredibly helpful and friendly and be able to work with you to do whatever is right for your business. So thank you, everybody, for your time.
Excellent. I'm back. Thank you very much, folks.
Oh, there you are.
Roseford at SMB Nation. I don't know what happened there, but David and company, thank you so much, everybody. Or David, are we ready to send them back to the salt mine?
Absolutely.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you again.
All right, thank you.